Hey, my name is Mark, and today I'm going to share with you my new laptop. I've been using laptops as my primary productivity rig, my gaming rig, since probably 10, maybe 12 years now. My last build, uh, probably 15 years. My last build for desktop on a desktop system was uh, I believe it was Pentium 4. So my first i5 or i7 series is already a laptop. So the reason is I keep moving from one room to the next, and I didn't really want to be bothered by getting my rig moving from room to room or home place to place. So I switched to a laptop setup. I still have my keyboard and my monitor, but I really want that mobility. So my most recent laptop is a Lenovo Y500. I've been using that for about 7 years, and I believe it's time, especially now that gaming laptops, have competed very closely to desktop rigs. Desktops are still more powerful, yeah, if you have the budget. But if you are looking into a more mobile solution, the gaming laptops now can really perform. So I chose Acer Nitro 5 to replace my Lenovo Y500. So my Lenovo Y500 was, I believe it was an i5 series generation 3 i5. Now I replace it with an i5 10th generation. So I know the 11th gen is coming up. Some are already released, but it's pretty expensive. So I went with a mid-range gaming laptop called Acer Nitro 5 AN515. Here's a quick run through of the features and the stuff I did and what my impressions are. So the Acer Nitro 5 AN515 specs I bought was the 10th gen Intel Core i5 2.5 gigahertz with a 15.6-inch IPS display at 144 hertz. So the video card was a GeForce RTX 2060. And out of the box, it was 8 gigabytes of DDR4 3200 megahertz and a 512 PCIe NVMe SSD with 1 terabyte SATA. So I upgraded both of those. And then it has Wi-Fi 6 and a built-in webcam and Bluetooth 5.0. Since this is a mid-range gaming laptop, it's entirely made out of plastic. So it's ABS plastic. It will leave fingerprints on it, and the design is pretty good as compared to the previous Nitro versions. The reds are no longer there. Uh, there's no ports up front, although I miss the SD card reader in other gaming laptops. And then the only red marks you can see is at the back, as well as the Nitro signature logo, which is pretty nice. And on the right side, you have your USB-C, although it would be nice if it's Thunderbolt, USB Gen 3.2 for power off USB charging, and your HDMI 2.0 and an exhaust. Now on the left side, you have your 3.5 headphone jack, two more USB Gen 3.2, and your Ethernet port, as well as your Kensington lock. And then another exhaust vent. At the back, you have the bigger exhaust vent, as well as your power adapter port, and another very big exhaust vent. These are from your video card and your processor. So you have that signature red look still. It's just at the back as compared to the previous versions. Now at the bottom, you have your rubber feet, and actually there's both rubber feet and a very wide air intake vent uh, up front at the bottom, which I highly recommend you do not block. Now, opening the cover, it will expose all the upgrade options. As you can see, you have two NVMe SSD heat spreaders already attached to it, which is pretty nice. It's directly on the
SSD port slots. You have your 3500 battery, your SATA HDD, and then you have a slot 1 that's M2 NVMe PCIe only for SSD cards, your Intel Wi-Fi 6 card with Bluetooth. You have 2 fans with heat sinks. It's pretty good. It's easy to clean. And then you have your dual DDR4 memory and your slot 2 for another SSD card, which can hold NVMe PCIe and SATA. Now, opening the laptop, you'll be welcomed with a trackpad and an RGB keyboard as well as your 15.6 widescreen. It's pretty nice. Yeah, the trackpad is pretty big and directly under the spacebar. And you have your RGB keyboard made out of plastic as well, but it's almost a full keyboard. It has a numpad, which I really, really like. Now, your screen has a built-in 720p webcam. It's HD. And then your RGB has 4 levels of brightness as well. It's pretty bright, not as bright as the external keyboards that you can have, but it's customizable using software from Acer. It has several modes of displaying the RGB lights, which is customizable. It also has a timeout feature. If you don't touch your keyboard, it will turn off. And then it has 4 zones, which you can control and choose what color for each zone. It's not like the other keyboards that you can do it per key. This is all controlled by NitroSense, Acer's application to control your keyboard, your fans, as well as some of the features like the speakers. So you can see here the zones. You can technically change the color for all 4 zones. If you want, you can have all the same colors, or maybe your numpad can be green, other colors as well. Now, you can adjust the brightness on this software as well. And then you can also adjust the fans. Like what I said earlier, you can see your temperature here. You can activate Cool Boost. And if you're curious about how the fan sounds like, here's the normal fan. And here's the max fan. It's pretty loud, but it shouldn't really bother you if you're using an external speaker or probably playing with a headset. So here's a clip of me playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So you can hear the fans if you're using your speakers, but this isn't the maximum volume. So as you can see, the screen is pretty smooth, and the RTX feature is really, really good. Here's a better look at the game. This is a screen capture taken from the stock Windows recorder. As you can see, my settings for my display and my graphics. So you would have a better appreciation of the graphics.
How did you sleep?
I had that dream again.
About your parents?
Yeah.
So you can see the frames per second taken from the Steam FPS recorder, and there should be probably 5 frames per second drop because of the recording, but shouldn't really affect the gameplay.
And that's all for today. So if you have questions or maybe issues with your Nitro 5 AN515 55, feel free to put your comments below. Or if you have questions on the setup or anything in particular about the laptop, feel free to comment. And don't forget to like and subscribe.